Hello, my name is William Kumwembe and this is Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And in the program today, forex shortage threatens dream to grow energy generation to 1,000 megawatts by 2025. We have this and other stories. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. This is Business Time, and in our main story in the program today, shortage of forex for importing electricity equipment is one of the challenges acting as a stumbling block to Malawi's dream of achieving 1,000 megawatts electricity by 2025. This is according to the Presidential Delivery Unit Director of Agro-Industrialization and Infrastructure Development, Emmanuel Kadango. In an interview at the end of an integrated resource planning and power sector coordination lab meeting at the Bingo International Convention Center in Lilongwe, Kadango said authorities are doing everything possible to meet the 1,000 megawatts target come 2025. We have the whole story in this report.
Currently, Malawi's power generation stands at 561 megawatts, which means the country has over 400 megawatts to produce by next year to meet the 1,000 megawatts target. From last week, the Presidential Delivery Unit has been holding labs to ensure that stakeholders find solutions to Malawi's energy problems. High among the energy challenges has been the issue of forex shortage. Dr. Janet Banda is the head of the Presidential Delivery Unit and says the labs will help in finding solutions to Malawi's energy challenges.
There are always challenges when decisions are made. And that's why I think BD will come in. There's nothing new. It's just a case where we're looking at bottlenecks. Why are things not moving? Or why are people not doing what they're supposed to be doing? What are the issues? So a lab is like a kitchen where you're cooking and making sure that whatever you're cooking comes out nice and properly cooked. So if there are any challenges, people will come out in the open and say we are failing to do this because of ABCD. So that's the most important thing about a lab. In this lab, we can't come up with solutions for forex scarcity, but I think the solutions that we are coming up with in this lab should show innovative efforts or solutions that should help us navigate through the economy with the meager forex that we have at the moment, and make sure that we are using it to the best of the capability of each key stakeholders to produce significant results.
Mining Minister Monica Changanamuno says the country needs more energy to propel the various mining activities that are coming.
This main delivery lab is very, very important for the energy and mining sector, because we need energy for us to thrive as a nation. For our projects to be able to be successful, we need to produce enough energy. And therefore, this is a time that we're going to be looking at the challenges that have been facing the energy sector so that we can produce enough energy for our country. And the 3 days that people are going to meet here are going to look at the solutions that we need as a nation so that we have enough energy, and then we can have the projects that we need for us as a country to generate enough forex. We might be knowing the problems, but at different levels. But this has brought together all the concerned stakeholders so that we can put these challenges together. And then when we have put the challenges together, we're going to also be able to look at the solutions together, because we don't want every sector to look at this in isolation, but we need to work together, because it's only when we work together that we're going to be able to put tangible solutions to the challenges that we're facing.
The delivery labs are being held with support from the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet, GIAP. GIAP country lead Colin Zalengera said his organization is committed to accelerate the development of energy sector in Malawi.
You know that I think from the support that we are giving to presidential delivery unit for them to be able to run the delivery labs which can unlock bottlenecks for the energy sector. That is a clear commitment that GIA want to accelerate the development of energy sector in Malawi. Success in terms of delivering energy means that the stakeholder, the key stakeholder that we are all waiting for in the power sector is the consumer. These are the people, the industries that can spur economic growth, that they should have power. So the time when everyone else is going to have power, the people and the industry, that's when we're going to say, yes, I think as a sector, as a movement, with all our collaborations and partners, that yes, we have succeeded. I think in terms of achieving the targets, what I can say is that the role of Global Energy Alliance for People and the Planet is to make sure that we coalesce, we bring together partners who can help governments to achieve their ambition. So if we all put together our efforts, making sure that we coalesce around the same plan, because if all of us coalesce around the same plan, not necessarily going into some other plans, then we can bring the effort that it requires to assist the Malawi government to achieve their targets.
Deputy Director for Generation in the Ministry of Energy, Lucius Mawanga, says authorities are putting in place various strategies to ensure that the country's energy targets are met.
Expectations, as it was highlighted in the presentations, we're talking about issues of the integrated resource plan and the power sector coordination. The integrated resource plan is a tool that is considering plans that have to be done for power generation, power transmission and power distribution. And then the power sector coordination, those are issues to do with how the energy agencies and the ministry and other energy stakeholders are engaging to make sure that we achieve the objectives in the sector. So my expectations are that we'll have to address the problems that are being faced in the implementation of the integrated resource plan, as well as in the issues that are being faced as problems in the power sector coordination. The ministry will always had the engagements with the private companies to come and invest, some of which have managed to seek financing and implement projects. Those you have seen, for example, you've got GSM with Salima, you've got Serengeti in Kota, you've got Mulanje Seda and others, but yet there are some others who have not been able to find financing. So those have not been able to complete those projects which they were assigned. But as the ministry, we've always given a platform for them to implement projects, industries and households. So our target still remains the same, to make sure that we generate 1,000 megawatts, and we are just making sure that all projects are being implemented according to plan.
One thing for sure is that Malawi needs a lot of energy for it to meet its long-term vision as espoused in the Malawi 2063.
Meanwhile, Deputy Secretary to the Office of the President and Cabinet, Janet Banda, has called on heads of ministries, departments and agencies to shift in mindset and adopt a business unusual approach to ensure the timely achievement of the Malawi Implementation Plan targets. This comes as the latest MIP1 progress report by the National Planning Commission shows that 44% of key interventions are either on track or completed. More in this report.
Speaking on Tuesday at Capitol Hotel in Lilongwe during the official opening of the Malawi 2063 First 10-Year Implementation Plan, MIP1 Pillar and Enabler Coordination Group meetings, Banda said while progress has been made, some catalytic interventions necessary to meet the 2030 targets have faced delays. The Deputy SPC said the gatherings are not just about reflecting on progress, but also about reinforcing stakeholder engagement and collaboration.
The advantage of these meetings or importance is that they promote collaboration among MDAs. So by bringing all stakeholders together, you're able to identify the bottlenecks, the challenges that are there, the gaps, and come up with solutions as a team. And everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing after such meetings.
The director of National Planning Commission, Thomas Muntali, says there has been a slow journey to graduation and Malawi's economic growth is below 4%, leading to GDP per capita of around $600, which is below the required 1,000 plus US. Muntali says efforts are on the ground, but persistent exogenous shocks has caused microeconomic instability and implementation deficiencies.
If you see at the rate we've been growing, we've been faced with so many challenges. So efforts are on the ground, but you also see that the exogenous shocks has really done damage to us. Our growth rates around being 2-3% or thereabout. And you know that in the first 10-year implementation plan, we're saying a minimum of 6% that we require, which means if we're going to hit that, we need to look at which sectors can accelerate that.
The MIP1 PEGS meetings will run up to October 9th, 2024.
Remember, you're watching Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. My name is Kumwembe. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Business Time, a magazine program in which we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And my name is Kumwembe. Moving on with the program, new firm in the aluminium and copper recycling sector, Metallo Trading Limited, has outlined an ambitious target to be pumping approximately $1.5 million monthly towards procurement and recycling scrap metals in the country. While metal recycling operations have commenced at the firm's factory in Limbi, the company says it intends to establish an aluminium pot-making factory by mid-next year. This was said on Thursday when Minister of Trade and Industry, Kumwembe, opened the factory. Kumwembe Mangazo was there and has the whole story.
This came out on Thursday when Minister of Trade and Industry, Kumwembe, opened the factory. A senior manager at Metallo Trading Limited, Shivam Mittal, said the company aims to recycle a wide range of materials, including steel, aluminium, copper, brass, and zinc.
So we have been established in Malawi for the past 2.5 years now, and we used to export scrap metals before. But as we realized that it is a better place to recycle them and make products out of it, as we do what in Mozambique already for the past 5 years. So that's when we realized, okay, fine, let's start a company where we can start something by recycling the scrap and make it into a semi-finished product, then to a finished product. So now this company which we have started this just to clean the city, clean the country, so that we can start recycling all the scraps regarding steel, regarding aluminum, copper, brass, zinc, whatever. We are here to buy, we are here to recycle them. And I would urge all the Malawians to stop wasting their time going to South Africa, taking all the pain, or just depending on others to get a better price for their material. Come to us, we'll give you a better price as compared to whatever you're getting in the international market. And also, apart from, since it is an industry and we need a lot of raw materials, the raw materials which we used to export from here, now we will be starting to import from the countries like Zambia, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, whichever country is ready to work with us. Those people, they can come here and they can import the material to us.
Kumwembe says the project has the potential to impact the country's economy.
The basic issue is promoting local industry because our Malawi 2063 talks of industrialization as a second pillar, and value addition is one thing that government through the Ministry of Trade is encouraging. And we're happy that Metallo, a very big investor in Mozambique, has been exporting quite a lot of ports, electric cables from scrap metal that comes from Malawi. And their thinking has been, why should we be importing raw materials from Malawi when we haven't got an establishment in Malawi. And through the conversations we've been having, they have built this shelter, and they have started small as it might be, but their plan is to expand. So they are now able to do, with the local scrap that we have here in Malawi, be able to produce value-added products like the pots, like the electric cables, like the steel bars, the white wolves, and everything else. And I think that is good import substitution. That is going to save us a lot of forex, but most importantly, creating jobs for our young people. And government's drive to promote local manufacturing, to promote the local industry, we are going to support, so that companies should really start establishing bases here in Malawi, establishing companies here in Malawi, and that's the solid foundation that we can build for our economy. So basically, you know that our trade balance has always been on the negative side, and we're trying as much as possible to have policies that reverses the trend, where our trade balance starts balancing. Meanwhile, we are having too much imports and very little exports. And the way we can overcome the problem is to expand on our exports. That's where the president is talking about the mega farms road and value additional road. But we can also overcome our trade balance by looking at the other side, or the opposite side, which is reducing the imports. And this will help us immediately by reducing our appetite for imported ports, imported cables, imported steel materials. All this is going to add to strengthening the base of our economy going forward.
Provisional figures on Malawi's international merchandise trade released by the National Statistical Office show that total imports increased to 549.65 billion kwacha in August. Exports also surged to 321.99 billion in the month.
Now, in other business news, players in the financial services sector have been urged to be in the fore in ensuring compliance and risk management to safeguard resources in their respective institutions. The industry has since been challenged to value integrity and contribute towards national economic growth and development. The call was made at the weekend during the 2024 Financial Industry Compliance Conference organized by the Bankers Association of Malawi. BAM Chief Executive Officer is Linus Nkungula.
The rationale for such event is that the financial sector should come together, because when it comes to compliance issues, it's not about banking sector, but the entire financial sector. So here we come to discuss issues of integrity, because compliance goes along with integrity, and the banks have to be of integrity together with the financial sector. We are also looking at issues how to mitigate the risks. So when they come together, they share their knowledge and they share their ideas, so that when they go back, they can actually use that practical sharing into their daily lives.
Now, in her presentation, Financial Intelligence Authority Director General Jean Filippo Priminta called on the industry to ensure integrity and adherence to legal provisions on their service delivery. She reiterated the essence of risk assessment for efficiency.
So reporting entities, such as the ones that have gathered at this conference, are mandated by law to conduct risk assessments on their businesses, their customers, and the products that they are selling or providing to their customers. So we were basically, it was like a refresher, because most of them are already doing it. Some of them have already gone through trainings on this subject, but it was more like a refresher with updates, and also touching on the theme of this conference to make sure that the new technologies and digital solutions or digital products that they are continuously providing and coming up with should also be subjected to this risk assessment. It's important to make sure that the products and the businesses that they're offering to the public do not increase the risk of money laundering, terrorist financing, or financing of proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. So it was basically how do we go about doing these risk assessments, as we are also rejoicing the innovations that the financial institutions and the financial sector are continuously coming up with in the work of financial inclusion or bringing convenient products. So just making sure that whatever they're bringing to the public is not increasing the risk of money laundering and these other crimes in Malawi.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Thank you for watching, but always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.